Hi everyone, today I'm going to be taking you through the different warm colours of the colour spectrum. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe this video to this channel as much as possible. Share this video, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my content. So we'll start with the autumn colours and work our way up to the brightness of the spring colours. So first we have the grass green. Start off with a bright colour. This is a vibrant autumn colour, warm autumn colour where spring and autumn border each other. This is very natural colour, very calming colour with a bit of joy to it. Next we have the tan. This is a spring and autumn neutral. This is a universal warm colour, I would say. So people with warm undertones can absolutely wear this as a neutral, whether you're a spring or an autumn. So it's a very good choice. Next we have the camel. This is quite universal as well, but I would say it's better overall for autumns because of its softness. Although springs could wear it as a pair of trousers, or accessories, because it still has that warmth. But anyone with a cool undertone like myself, can you see how bad that is? I look just very aging on me actually. It's not good compared to the navy, which is a lot more youthful. Can you see that? Oh, never liked this colour on me ever. This is quite a sandy neutral. It's like warm sands, like camels, really. Yeah, so yeah, that's the camel. Next we have the peacock, which is a warm turquoise colour with richness mixed in with it. It has a grey layer, so it can really be worn by autumns very well. It contains quite a bit of yellow. As you can see, it puts a yellow filter on my face because I don't suit warm colours. But I'm making this video so that you can see the warm colours in their entire range that I have as drapes. So next I will take you to the brick red. Very orangey red, can you see that? This belongs to the autumn palette. It's quite universal for warm skin tones. I don't think anyone with a warm undertone will look bad in this, although it is mainly for autumns because it has that, richness to it as well. But for cool undertones, we are much better off in our blue-based reds rather than reds that are mixed with yellow and therefore look more orangey. So yeah, I really like this colour on autumns. It's really fresh and brick red lipsticks can be used for springs and autumns, so it's quite universal. Just like this lime green, this can be quite universal as well. But this belongs to the vibrant warm autumn subseason. So springs can, wear this as well because it's bright enough, especially for golden or warm springs. I think soft autumns might struggle a bit more with it next to their faces. I think they need to put it further away from the face, even if they just use it as a jacket. But, maybe within prints for soft autumns or true autumns. But, the vibrant autumns can really wear this well. A bit like the golden springs can as well, the warm golden springs. Next we have the old gold. Very rich yellow, very rich and soft from the autumn palette. I'd say this belongs to the soft autumn palette overall. It's very rich, and especially when it's in a velvet drape like this. So beautiful. But it's on the right person, it can really look expensive. On me, it looks cheaper. If it was silver, it would look a lot more expensive. And thankfully, I do have a silver drape, but yeah, it's really good on autumn. Even as a neutral, for vibrant autumns, this can be very nice. Speaking of vibrant autumns, we have orange. It's another colour where spring and autumn border each other. On me, though, it's very disconnected. So yeah, this is a warm, very warm colour. You can't get cool versions of orange. You can get neon versions of orange, but I feel like even they pull a bit warm, because you can't really get a cool version of orange. It's too opposite the colour wheel to blue, so it can't be cooled down. It'll just end up becoming like an ashen brown or something like that, or a greyed brown. So the warmth really is needed for orange to exist. Next we have the saffron, which has a richness to it but is also a vibrant autumn colour. I think golden springs would be able to wear this quite well too, because it's very golden and orange. Yeah, on warm undertones this is perfect, but you can really see how cool I look compared to this. My features are far too blue based to make this work. Certainly compared to the navy, you can see my skin just brighten up instantly in this one compared to this one. It dulls my face as soon as it's next to it. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, this is rich with vibrancy, which is of course what vibrant autumns need. They just need a hint of softness so that they don't look lightweight. So that the colours don't look lightweight, I mean. This is coral. This is definitely universal for people with a warm undertone. This is a spring and autumn colour. It's definitely not for cool skin tones like me. Can you see how pale I look against it? It's only this cap which is really supporting my image at all, because this is really cool and blue based compared to the coral. And the reason I have this cap on is because I had to have my hair cut and it's in an awkward length of the fringe at the minute, so I'm using this cap to make my forehead not look so large. I will also show you a video of how my hair looks now, just in case you are curious. So yeah, this is how my hair currently looks. So that's why I'm wearing this cap, because if I took this cap off, you'd get quite a shock. Okay, yeah, coral is a very happy colour. On people who have a warm undertone, it's really happy and sunshiny. But on people with a cool undertone, it can look quite sickly. Quite like we need to open a window or something to get fresh air. So yes, that's the start of the warm pinks from the warm colour spectrum, the warm part of the colour spectrum. This is lizard grey, a very rich, sort of olivey grey. That's how I would describe it. And this is certainly better than some of the other colours I make. I mean, because it's grey. Grey is primarily a cool colour. So you do have to mix it with a bit of yellow or green to make it warmer. This is mixed with green to make it richer for autumns. This is, an opportunity for autumns to wear grey because autumns don't suit a lot of greys. I think springs suit more greys than autumns do. So, yeah, they really need their colours to be rich, soft, more antiqued. But on autumns, the colours don't look antiqued. It's amazing, isn't it? Next we have the mustard, or maybe yellow ochre colour. It looks more yellow ochre on camera, so we'll say it's yellow ochre. This is a yolky, like an egg yolk kind of yellow, and it's where spring and autumn meet. So golden warm springs can really work well with this colour. It's a vibrant, warm autumn colour primarily, but it can really work on golden springs as well, golden warm springs. So next we have the chestnut. This is, I would say, an autumn only neutral, when it comes to near the face. Of course, springs can wear it, away from the face. Not as a jacket, but they can wear it as trousers if necessary. They don't have to be so picky when it comes to picking, the neutrals further away from the face, as long as the neutrals are warm. Yeah, this is very rich, It's has a mahogany feel about it. It's spicy, like it's just has that rich spices. It's it has that cooked kind of look. Spring colours don't really have a look where they don't have this look where they look roasted. That the colours of autumn, they look like they've been roasted, whereas spring colours are pure. They haven't been darkened. So, autumn colours are roasted because, they need to be more toasty so that they can work for autumn skin tones. So that's the chestnut. This is a white for autumns. This is called oyster. This is very soft and it has that warmth. Of course, it doesn't work well on me at all. It's far too warm for me. But for people with a warm undertone, it just gives that, that life. Of course, you have to have a warm undertone for it to, a warm undertone and be in autumn for it to work properly. Because on me, it just, everything looks the same. There's no definition at all on me. But this can really work as a rich white for autumns. Off-whites can work for autumns as well, as long as they are not too blue based. really does have to have yellow in it. Cream is also a universal neutral for warm undertones. It can look quite lightweight on autumns, but it's still workable. You know, autumns won't look, you know, terrible in cream. This is dark brown / chocolate, which I would say is a universal neutral for warm undertones as well. Obviously, I don't suit this at all, but you know, yeah, it can really work, even if it's, you know, away from the face, like as a jacket or a pair of trousers. It can really add something to your wardrobe if you have a warm undertone. I think autumns are more inclined to work with this colour than springs are, because autumns have more of a depth to them, but you know, you can get blue springs which need a bit more depth to them. So, you know, blue bright springs can work really well actually with this kind of a neutral, sometimes even more than the tan, because the tan is warmer than the dark brown. So sometimes you just need a more neutral warm, because sometimes the warmest of the spectrum is a little too warm and it can make their skin look a bit yellow. You know, it can put this yellow cast that looks a bit unclean near the face. I mean, it's not terrible, you know, not like on someone who even has a neutral cool or cool, very cool undertone, but it, you know, sometimes the warmest of the colours need to be worn further away from the face. The next one is dark olive. I think this is probably one of the last autumn colours that I have available, and it's very rich. This is definitely one of those exclusively autumn colours, although I think brown summers might be able to wear this quite well, you know, like the soft brown summers, because this is not strictly warm. You know, it's neutral. I'm more neutral warm, I would say, because it does have a kind of borderline ashy look to it as well. But you really do have to have a more neutral undertone to make this work. If you're in a cool palette, you need to be neutral cool, and you have to be very soft in undertone. Your dominant characteristic must be soft to make this work as a wow colour, or even as a colour you can borrow it from, you know. Yeah, so this is a very rich, it's actually a deeper yellow. It's you know, when you think of dark yellow, this is the it's a yellow, but it's perceived as green because it's been deepened, and when colours are deepened, they, you know, tend to have blue added to them a little bit. We have one more autumn colour that I almost forgot to show you, which I actually could have shown you in the cool spectrum video as well. This is Kingfisher, also known as sea green. Kingfisher is an autumn colour and sea green is a summer colour. So this is where summer and autumn meet, because summers and autumns can wear this very well, and as you can see, this really suits me as well. So if I ever wanted to have a more autumnal look, this is the way to go for me. But most people do suit this colour to a certain extent because it's very neutral. So yeah, this is one of those colours that will suit most anybody. It might look heavier on some people or a bit warm on some people, but it can, you know, it can be worn by everyone, really, because no one's going to look terrible in this colour. So that is officially all of the autumn colours. So So yeah, that's pretty much all of the autumn colours. Now we can move on to the spring colours. This is where we can have a bit of fun because of the brightness of the colours. So start off with this very bright, I would call this apple lime. I had to make up the name of this one because, you know, I didn't have any previous names for it. But yeah, you can see that this can go very well on springs. Mum really suits this colour. Obviously I don't. You can really see it. It puts like a beard and everything on my face. I mean, I'm not clean shaven today, but this is making it look like I haven't shaved for about a week kind of look. But yeah, this is a very bright green. It's translucent and it's a very happy colour. It's sort of like you're skipping in the spring gardens kind of colour. Yeah, I really like this colour. I mean, you know, to look at, not to wear, but I do like it to look at. I won't lie, it is lovely to look at. It's very pleasing to the eye, you know. Here we have Shell Pink. This is one of the delicate warm colours from the spring palette. I think light pastel summers or powder summers can get away with this more because it's very light and delicate. This is more of a neutral warm colour, I would say. It's not extremely warm, and yeah, you can see how cool my undertone is when I wear this because you're more inclined to look down at the drape than you are at my face because it's just too warm already and it's a bit too light for me. Even though I am a summer, I am very cool as a summer, so this just doesn't work for me. I am not a good example of someone who can borrow colours like this. But yeah, you could perceive this to be an autumn colour because it is so soft, but it would look lightweight on someone who is an autumn because it's too light and therefore too bright. As well, for autumns, it can read as wishy-washy on them, so it needs to be deepened to make it into a rosewood, you know. So next we have the banana, which is a very delicate yellow for springs. This is one of the delicate happy colours from the spring palette, and yeah, I would say this is one of the light fondant spring colours, you know, as wow colours for the light fondant springs. The next colour is flamingo pink. This is a very happy pink from the spring palette. This is, you know, very, very bright, but also quite warm. So, you know, I mean, when you look at this on me, you could probably think, oh, he looks happy and, you know, but yeah, this is definitely not one of my best colours because it takes over me. You know, it's just doesn't look expensive on me. Someone who is a spring will really, really shine in pinks like this. I would say this is exclusively for springs because, I mean, you know, spring to bright winters could get away with this more, but springs are the only ones who can really wear it brilliantly. You know, it's not going to be a wow colour on someone who's a spring to winter because it's just far too warm for them. You know, you can see how it has a peachy look to it. You know, it has this golden look. If you look at the shadows, it has this golden look, like it's, you know, sort of orangey. And that's how you can tell sometimes when you look at drapes and they have this, you know, golden look to the shadows. It can really tell you that it's more warm in undertone. So yeah, I think that can sometimes be a giveaway if you look at the shadows of the drapes. I don't know if anyone's ever pointed it out in that way. I think I literally just made that up. But yeah, I think it could be a way to tell sometimes. The next one is Buttercup. Now I do love this colour, I won't lie. I really wish I suited it. You know, but I just feel like immediately I look drained. Yeah, it doesn't give that happy impression that it's supposed to, unfortunately. Yeah, it does kind of make me look a bit. It makes me look kind of hard actually. Just the shadows it puts into my face just doesn't do anything for me. Um, it's amazing how a deeper colour like navy doesn't put shadows on my face compared to this light and bright colour. I mean, if you didn't know about colour analysis, you would never think that would be the case, but it really is when you wear the wrong colours. Um, yeah, this is a very sunny yellow, and this would also work a bit more on vibrant warm autumns, because it has that warmth that they need. It might be a touch bright, but you know, it would definitely, I wouldn't say no to vibrant warm autumns wearing this colour. So yeah. Next we have geranium red, a very bright warm red, which I think spring to winters could also, spring to bright winters could also wear this very well, because it is quite close to scarlet. I mean, this is not the worst colour I've seen on me so far. It's really not. But it does give that kind of yellow filter to my face, and it is a bit overwhelming on me, you know, uh, because it is so bright. But autumns really, really suit. Sorry, springs and autumns really, really suit this colour. It is a universal warm colour, although on some people in the autumn palette it can be a little bit bright. Even on, fondant icing, light spring pastel springs, it can be a bit overwhelming, and they would suit more corals or, peaches rather than bright red. So yeah, sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming even on springs, but most springs and autumns can wear this very well. It definitely is a bright colour where spring and autumn meet. So yeah, it's another win for the warm undertone people. Next we have the apple green. And this is a very translucent green. I don't think they get much more translucent than this for greens, or for colours in general. This is very, very translucent, and I think light pastel powder summers would also get away with this a bit more, because it really does have that lightness even though it's bright. I mean, obviously on me, I'm not a good example of that, but it has that lightness which brings that delicate feel to the colour. So light summers would be able to get away with this more. Yeah, it's a lovely colour. So next we have the cream. Like I said before, during the autumn colours, this is a universal neutral for warm undertones. But as you can see on me, it's kind of yellowing It's not for cool skin tones at all, this colour, it's really not. So yeah, autumns and springs, this is a great neutral for you. You know, it's just mixed with some yellow so it can warm up your complexions. We have another pink coming up. It's called Geranium Pink. If you look at the shadows again, you can see how it goes peachy. I would say this is exclusively for springs. I don't think any other season can borrow this colour or wear it well. Only springs can wear this well because it is so warm, and it's too lightweight for autumns as well. So at the same time, autumns can't really wear this well, and it's far too warm for people, even with a neutral cool undertone, so they can't really borrow this colour as a colour to wear well. And if you have an extremely cool undertone, especially like myself, it can look draining. Like it is on me right now, it's really draining me. So yeah, this is a fun colour. It's like confetti from the Kettlewell Colours website, and yeah, it's one of those, I would call it birthday icing, birthday cake icing colours. That's how I would describe it. Just really fun, and it's quite quite tasty to look at, this colour. It makes me think of desserts. So yeah, like a fruity dessert as well, because springs are fruity colours. Okay, next we have the leaf green. This is where autumn and spring meet as well. So it's a more universal warm colour once again, a crossover colour. This just has more of a brightness to it. So primarily this is a spring colour, but it is one of the deepest colours from the spring palette because springs don't have many deep colours. So their deeper colours need to have lightness and brightness because that's what springs suit the most. It's a very calming colour for springs as well. It's not, it's more serious. It's more serious. So we have the turquoise blue next. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Turquoise. Which is also turquoise blue from the winter palette. As you can see, this is probably one of the better colours on me. And I do really like this colour. I do. I would personally wear it. This is where spring and winter meet. This is a blue spring colour, I would say. So yeah, springs and winters, definitely go for this colour. It's very lovely. On me, it's just a tad overwhelming, just a little bit. But if I wear a bit of silver jewellery here, it can help to break it up. Thankfully, I'm the brightest within the summer palette, so I can get away with it a bit more. So yeah, this is a beautiful colour. I'd say this is one of the richer colours from the spring and winter palettes. Beautiful. This is shocking pink, another colour where spring and winter border each other. Summers can even get away with this a bit too, according to the Kettlewell Colours website, although I would say in my case I don't agree because it has too much lightness to it, and on me it reads too warm. I think primarily this is more of a spring colour because of the warmth it has. It's neutral warm, and only sprinter winters, bright winters can get away with this to such a degree. I think other winters can look too yellowed in this colour. So yeah, it really is only for sprinter winters, bright winters, or the springs. So yeah, maybe like powder summers as well because of their neutral cool undertone. So their undertone is not as important, but yeah, definitely more for springs and sprinter bright winters for sure. We have a better colour coming up for me, which is the violet. I do love this colour and I would absolutely wear this colour. It's one of those more universal colours, a colour that pretty much anyone can wear, even though it's primarily from the spring palette. It's not going to look terrible on anybody, really. Um, yeah, I do love this colour. It's a happy purple. That's what I would call it. It's a happier purple because it has that lightness, brightness, and a touch of gold to it. And this would definitely be better with gold jewellery than silver jewellery overall, but you can wear it with both because purple is primarily a cool colour anyway. It's just that this needs more of a golden base for springs. So yeah, we have the poppy red next. Poppy red. This is a true red. And this is like Coca-Cola red. Anyone can wear this colour. Absolutely anybody. It just, yeah, it's universal. Truly universal. It will go with everything and anything. There's not a single colour this won't go with. So if you put it on the seasonal colour palette wheels, it will go with anything. It will look expensive with any colours, whether they're from the spring, summer, autumn or winter colours. They will go with everything. They'll look expensive with everything. So yeah, could also be a universal lipstick at times, I would say. But yeah, the universal colours are pretty much all done, I would say, from this range of colours. I do love how this drape looks. I love the shiny side of this drape. This is Kerry Green. It reads more emerald here, and I think it's because of the lights, but this is warm. I mean, because of the light trickery, it looks like it suits me more. But yeah, in person, this does read more golden than on camera. And this is where spring and autumn meet again. Because this crosses over with grass green a bit more from the autumn palette. So yeah, it's pretty much another universal warm colour. So I think I told a lie when I said that all of the universal colours were done. But they are mainly for golden springs and vibrant autumns. Golden warm springs, vibrant warm autumns. It's bright, but it has a slight more richness to it as well. See what else we have. We have the aqua, a very bright turquoise. Nothing rich about this. This is really translucent. Springs really work well in this. It is also where spring and winter meet because the bright turquoises are definitely for the springs and winters because they both share the brightness, and these are neutral cool and neutral warm colours, so they work extremely well on springs and winters, especially when they are the brighter subgroups. The brighter subgroups and dominant characteristic is the brightness. I mean, this isn't terrible on me compared to some of the other colours, but you can see that yellow filter kind of come back and I look a bit lost in it. I look kind of drawn. So this is not a colour I would wear. Can you see how much more light this one brings in comparison? And we can even compare it to the Kingfisher sea green colour from the autumn and summer palettes. Can you see how much more light this gives? Just wanted to show it to you like this so you don't just think, oh well, it's navy, it's bound to suit them more, because it's what he's shown us every time. But you know, this is softer, this is brighter, and you can see immediately you've lost me. So yeah, this is definitely for the win in comparison. So what do we have next? We have Hyacinth, another one where spring and summer meet. This one definitely suits me. Finally, another one that suits me. This is a very delicate colour for springs. Definitely belongs more to the summer palette, I would say. It's quite cool. So you really do have to be, you know, in that neutral warm space to be able to wear this very well. This is primarily a light powder pastel summer colour. I do love this colour. It's really nice. One of the more delicate choices for springs. Delicate. Next we have the bright blue, another one that really suits me because it crosses over with summer. It's where spring and summer meet. And this just, with springs they need that radiant kind of blue. They need radiant blues, nothing too cold, nothing too dark, you know, just right, you know. So yeah, this is where spring and summer meet. It's another a wild colour that we both share, which I'm very pleased about because I love bright blue as well as cornflower, so I'm very pleased and privileged to be able to wear colours like this. It's radiant blue. Goes so beautifully with the aqua, doesn't it, as well? Let's see what else we have. One of the last colours is the aquamarine. This is very warm. And this can be, you know, shared with the vibrant autumns as well. This is primarily from the golden spring, golden warm spring area. So this is very autumnal looking for a spring turquoise because it has that warmth. As you can see, it really yellows my face. But this is able to be worn by springs, you know, all springs, worn best by golden paint box springs, you know, true warm springs, in other words. And the vibrant warm autumns can get away with this more as well because it has that warmth and it has more richness, so it's definitely great on vibrant autumns too as an option, you know, to steal colours from the spring palette here and there. It's an option. So this is a bright turquoise with a bit of richness. That's how I would describe this colour. And for the last one, we have the canary yellow, which is a lighter, fresher colour from the spring palette. It's very fresh. It's very, very fresh. I think the lightness aspect of it works more for me than the Buttercup did, but still draining. Yeah, it's definitely a happy colour. It really is. It's beautiful on springs. I think this is exclusively a spring colour because of the lightness, the brightness, and the warmth. So yeah, this is a very scented. There's definitely more of a scented colour for springs. Yeah, this is a beautiful colour. It's lovely to look at, isn't it? It's very fresh. Makes you think of daffodils a little bit more. So yeah, that's all of the warm colours, guys, of the colour spectrum. I hope that you enjoyed this video, found it helpful in some way. Please give this video a thumbs up, share this video as much as possible, subscribe as much as possible. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my content. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Good night.